First thing out of the box, again, we're going to pick up Rule 6. My goodness gracious, it seems like we've done something on Rule 6 every single time that we've been together. The same question I posed last week, I'm going to pose it again. Can a pitcher legally feint or throw to an unoccupied base from the rubber? And we discussed last week, yes, he can, but not all situations. And we talked about the balk of a pitcher. If he does any of these actions, this is a balk. So a feint towards the batter or towards first base, that results in a balk being called. So if he cannot feint to first or home, that means that the pitcher can feint to second or third. The second point is failing to step with a non-pivot foot directly towards a base, occupied or unoccupied, when throwing or feinting there in attempt to put out or drive back a runner. That's the first part. Or throwing or feinting to an unoccupied base when it is not an attempt to put out or drive back a runner. So this is where you can, as a pitcher, make a play on a runner who is moving or have consequences if you don't follow these rules. So here's video number 1.
Safe. Safe. Gotta tag him, bud.
So on this scenario, we have R1 and first base, and R1 is stealing early. The pitcher is in the stretch. He begins to look and see that this runner is moving. He is now in the set position. Sorry, guys. He's now come set, and he starts to turn his hip, and he steps towards second base. This is a legal feint towards second base, and he is attempting to retire the runner, make a play on the runner who is running. So he legally can feint towards second base, and then he throws there, and we should have had an out, but we had a really terrible tag. So watch this one again. Do not get caught off guard by the fact that he is making a move to an unoccupied base. This is perfectly legal because he's making a play on that runner. Let's watch it one more time.
Safe. Safe.
So as we discussed in Rule 6, this is where this rule comes in that we just were. It's this first half of the letter B. Failing to step with a non-pivot foot directly towards a base. Well, he stepped directly towards a base, so he's good there. So this is not a balk. He is allowed to feint towards second base. That's covered in the Rule A part of this. And he can feint in an attempt to put out a runner. So we are good there. This is not a balk. Let's take a look at this next play. So to recap, I should have said there's runners at first and third. You can't see the runner at third base. He's off camera, but you really can tell that. So this is the good old-fashioned third to first move that a lot of people think is not allowed in high school baseball, but it is, in fact, it is allowed in high school baseball. So a pitcher feints to third base, and then it disengages from the rubber, and then feints to first base. The feinting to first base, he is not acting as a pitcher because once he's off the rubber, once he completes that feint towards third base, the pitcher is now a fielder. And a fielder can do, well, pretty much anything he wants to do. So let's watch this one more time. Again, this is not a balk. This is perfectly legal. Now, please be advised, in other levels of baseball, this is a balk. But for our rule set, NFHS Federation rules, this is perfectly legal. And it goes back to the same rule that we talked previously a lot about, and it's in that A section. Any feinting towards the batter or first base. Well, the pitcher's not feinting towards the batter or first base. He's feinting towards third base. That is okay. He can feint to third base. Once he feints to third base, he then is a fielder. And now he can turn around and do whatever he wants to first base. So that's how this is a legal play.